We have Herkes. She is a former bookseller and current Chicagoland science fiction fantasy author who is an expert in indie publishing. She has 2 popular running series, Stories of the Restoration, an SF adventure series, and The Rollover Files, where superpowers hit humans in middle age. Her portrayal in that series of people with disabilities and how those can be overcome or even used in positive ways has always reminded me of Lois McMaster-Bujold's Miles Morkosigan series. Her latest book is Relics from a Traveling Show, a fantasy short story collection. She says, contents include whimsy, gargoyles, heroic aunties, brave doggos, and evil bureaucrats who always lose. Would with it so. She was a contributor to and played an essential role in the production of the Ludlow Charlington's Doghouse Animal Charity Anthology. Please welcome Herkes.
Scary on this side of the microphone. So I didn't know I was an expert in independent publishing.
Own it!
I'm owning it. I'm going to own it. But this is I have a segue, and not the kind you write on. An expert in independent publishing probably would have had a bookshop on their own website ages ago. Yeah. But I just figured it out about 4 days ago.
Yay!
So I now I'm able to actually provide a bookshop on my website to anyone. So in honor of this particular evening, since I've been doing Gumbo Fiction since 2015, and it's been instrumental in my growth as an author. So on my website, camherkes.com, at the top right now, you will find a tab for Gumbo Fiction, and behind that tab is the ability to download for free an ebook copy of this.
Ooh. Wow.
Because once you learn how to do the whole bookshop thing and you find out how easy it is to make pages on the website, so I just kind of did that on the bus on the way here. All right, so I am going to read tonight for my spouse, because my beloved spouse man, this is his favorite of all my stories. It's one that I debuted the very first scene of here at Gumbo Fiction, wherein an adventure wherein I learned that I cannot read the first scene of this story without crying, so I'm not reading that one. It's actually a very sweet story, so I'm going to read you the sweetest scene out of it. It's about a child of a mixed marriage, one mortal and one fae, who calls themselves Child of the Thresholds. And they've been summoned back to meet with their father. And so this means that they have to go over cloud and under hill, and they're about to do that. Let's see. The groom's trail in my mother's backyard takes me through a carefully maintained parkland. Birdsong and the rustle of green leaves welcome me. Pale spring sunlight glows on new grass, and the deep blue skies promise hot summer days around the corner of time. I breathe in the heavy sweetness of peonies and lilac, and when I lick my lips, I taste early roses. My favorite threshold sits beneath the wide white trunk of a half-fallen beech tree whose crown is held aloft by a supportive neighbor. Before I reach it, I collect myself an armload of flowers. One step and another through the doorway of living wood, and I go from here to there. Simple as that. My first step lands with a splash, and muddy water flows over the tops of my shoes. On this side of reality, clouds and chilly silence rule the day. Drifting mist swallows the upper branches of gray-barked maples and rough oaks. The quiet is a soft, soggy thing, the air empty of sound and thick with water. No one will ever call my father subtle. Powerful, yes. Subtle, no. The weather, far beyond his own territories, often responds to his mood. Being forced to travel like this through storm and rack is a common punishment for my little rebellions. Once he nearly froze me to death in a blizzard. Since then, I've been packing the latest in expedition gear when I cross over. Weather is weather, no matter its source, and modern mortal textiles are damned close to magical. Dreary and dank is no challenge for waterproof boots. I break out my featherweight rain jacket and rain pants and continue my journey in total comfort. Not far along the muddy path, I find my way blocked by a masterpiece of a spiderweb. The spiraling lines of it stretch across 6 feet of open air, centered over the path and anchored high and low with sturdy threads to the nearest trees. This is a toll gate as solid as any ever built on a mortal road. If I turn aside, I'll find a host of obstacles much worse: hillocks, windfalls, briars, steering me back to the trail, or into a bog, or over a hidden cliff, depending on the mood of the web's builders. This bit of land you see answers to a swarm of pixies who love a good prank more than they love flowers, and they are total suckers for nectar. Centuries ago, these pixies claimed the patch of forest near the gate so they could zip across to our side and nibble on wild rose petals, sip from honeysuckle blooms. And my great-grandmother planted flower beds for them, gardens which were expanded by my grandmother and my mother in turn. They love our flowers, but they still charge for the privilege of crossing their land. Blood or bargain, either will do, but a price must be paid. That's the way things are here. Every scrap belongs to someone. Everything comes with a cost. My father would clear a path for me through his patchwork properties if I asked. His word is law, and his goodwill governs all who answer to him, including even pixies. But I've never asked, and I never will, because I enjoy disappointing him.
Yeah.
Since I have neither the wit nor the muscle to fight my way across to him, he assumes I degrade myself by bartering with lesser powers. We are forced by our natures to only deal in truths, so secrets have a particular appeal. He has his, I have mine. This is my oldest one. I haven't paid a single toll since my first trip here, the crossing I made by accident as a child. Back then, no one told me I was different. I mean, I knew, but no one explained or trained me or told me about the rules of this world. Mom was and is a big believer in the protective power of denial. So I was well into the woods here before I realized that I'd wandered into a whole new world. Now I know I was never in serious physical danger. No one outside Pops' court would dare harm the bloodkin of their ruler, not permanently anyway. But when the first creatures I met demanded payment for my passage, I was 7 years old, terrified, confused, and completely lost. The pixies had expected a drop or two of blood, a taste of my father's power by proxy, maybe. Instead, I'd offered them every childish treasure in my school bag and pockets. Textbooks, comics, shiny stones, blue jay feathers, pencils, foil-wrapped chocolates, books. I doled them all out one by one to my astonished audience. And when I saw how much delight every new item brought them, I dumped out the rest and told them to keep everything. I was raised to share, and I liked making people happy. I still do. So by chance, my meager gifts gained me more credit than I would ever spend. Offering all I had with no expectation of proper bargain, there is a major power in that kind of gift. That I learned later. Then, pure luck. There's a magic to luck too, I suppose. So the legacy of that first exchange sways before me now, the letters of my own name and a recognizable smiley face crafted in an arc of sticky, water-sparkled silk. Impossible not to smile at the sight of it. Good work, I say, and tip my head back to look for the web spinners. A drop of water falls directly into my right eye. 3 more drops splash my forehead. 1, 2, 3, targeted dead center. Well, that makes my welcoming committee 4 pixies, with one of them clearly new to their wings.
Yeah.
I grin at the gem-bright flickers hiding behind leaves above me. A first flight, is it? An affirmation of dewdrops spatters down upon me. I sweep a bow to the trees. I offer my felicitations. First flights are careful private affairs. Being allowed so close to a vulnerable new pixie, wobbly and fragile, this is a precious sign of the swarm's esteem. Pixies are immortal, you see, but they're ephemeral too, eternally cycling through life stages and recalling little of each previous incarnation. No one in this group would have been alive for my last visit, not in their current forms. Individuals come and go. The swarm never forgets. Many people in my father's lands, especially the courtiers who thrive on their schemes and plots, disdain pixies as frivolous because of this. Pixie disinterest in the past or future makes them politically useless, and their fertility wins them no friends among the more powerful sorts who conceive rarely and wrangle ferociously over dwindling inheritances. Pests, they call pixies, but the dismissal is tempered with wariness. Pixies are flighty, yes, but they're also fierce and numerous, and each swarm can hold a grudge forever. They guard well those they love, and I feel honored to be included in that category. Every time I visit, they escort me past the shifting territories of far more predatory beings straight to my father's personal estate. By the laws of power, they must do that much. My first gift paid all. Because I'm determined that there be more to my life than balance and bargains, I continue to bring small offerings of whatever I think they'll enjoy. They're especially fond of violas. Tastier than pansies, they insist. I can't tell the difference. Shall we greet one another face to face today? I ask as I lay my flowers beside the path, or am I too terrifying to approach? The canopy rustles and crystal chime laughter breaks the quiet, brightening my mood and freshening the air. One glittering pixie flits to a lower branch and showers me with kisses that scatter in an ice fall of green sparks. They're made as much of beetles' wings and butterfly legs as they are of human parts. All their colorful bits and pieces are held together by delicate threads of magic. This one responds to my teasing with a shake of her tiny fist. I am the Charlotte, and I fear nothing, she declares. We ask no toll, but we would welcome a compliment for our web. I make a show of closely examining their work. They love this part so much. It's some pig. Terrific. Radiant. Humble even. My literary references are answered with a chorus of peeping laughter and a shower of dew from the leaves. I duck under the web to view it from the other side before rummaging in my bag. Here are new words, freely given to add to your glory. A book full of brave rabbits, clever badgers, and courageous mice. Charlotte swoops in for the prize, which will be memorized and recited aloud long after the pages fade and crumble into the loam. We will cherish it, she says, with utmost solemnity. I'll meet a Martin on some future visit, I'm sure. Moments like this make these trips home bearable. Are you the only brave one, dear Charlotte, or will others introduce themselves today? 3 more glittery flyers drop into view, 2 green, 1 fiery orange and unsteady in the air. Charlotte joins hands with the wavering flyer. This one came to New Wings at dawn. She's not yet chosen a name. We're joined by the Templeton and the Wilbur, who will lead the rest of our swarm in attendance. Be welcome and travel freely under our aegis. Lead on, I said, and I will gladly follow. She ducks low to tickle my cheek with her toes, then departs with a last wet sprinkle of magic. A hum of wings announces the arrival of the rest of the swarm. They swirl ahead through the trees, trailing laughter and light behind them. I wipe my cheeks clean and suck the wet flavor of starlight off my fingertips.